Amid prowling leopards, relentless packs of wild dogs, and the thunderous approach of lions, every breath for these creatures teeters on the edge of survival. What drives them to live in this constant struggle between life and death? This is a tale of baboons, their fight for existence against ruthless predators. Long before dawn clears the mist, they ascend rocky mounds to survey the land. Golden eyes glint in the dim light as a leopard, the silent master of ambush, sets its sights on a lone baboon that has wandered from the group. In a heartbeat, the predator strikes with the speed of lightning. Yet instead of scattering in fear, the baboons retaliate with ferocity. Their shrieks, flashes of teeth, and rapid strikes force the big cat to retreat empty-handed. But danger is relentless. As the troop ventures out to forage for roots and tender shoots, a stealthy pack of wild dogs closes in from behind thorny thickets. With lightning speed, they charge, trying to break the baboon's defenses. The primates quickly form a protective circle, their largest male standing firm at the center, launching threatening feints. After several failed attempts, the dogs back off, keeping a wary eye on the troop as they disappear into the brush. Yet predators aren't their only threat. Scarcity of food and territory fuels brutal clashes between rival baboon troops. The once quiet savanna erupts into chaos. Dust clouds swirl, rocks scatter, and deafening screams fill the air. Alpha males charge headlong into each other, their long fangs clashing violently. The battle rages until one side retreats, surrendering both land and precious resources. In this unforgiving wilderness, survival isn't just about strength, but strategy, unity, and relentless adaptability. Each day is a trial, and only the sharpest and most alert live to greet the next sunrise. At the boundary or dense forests. Meet barren deserts, where parched grasslands fade into rocky hills, lives a creature both feared and admired. It follows no rules but its own. It isn't crowned a king like the lion, nor does it hunt with silence like the leopard. This is the baboon. These primates are a rare blend of intelligence and raw instinct, a mix that makes them formidable. They live in large, tight-knit troops, sometimes numbering in the hundreds, governed by intricate social bonds, strict hierarchies, and even violent enforcement. At the top stands the dominant male, his thick mane framing a face carved with cold authority. He controls every aspect of the troop food territory. Mates, and his reign is constantly challenged by rivals, forcing him to remain battle-ready. At all times, compassion has no place in their brutal world. Mothers raise their young under constant threat. The weak are swiftly cast aside, and each day is a test of wit, strength, and resilience against enemies, nature, and even their own. From the rugged highlands of Ethiopia to Kenya's vast golden plains, baboons thrive where few creatures dare. Survival has made them outlaws, bold, aggressive, cunning, and merciless. This is the saga of Africa's most dominant primate. They are not the kings of the savannah because of size or strength, but because they push boundaries without fear. Watch as they evolve from clever raiders at the edges of villages to fierce warriors commanding their troops, earning the respect and fear of all who encounter them. Deep within the sun-scorched savannah, an invisible order governs their society, strict and unyielding like steel. In this harsh hierarchy, there is no democracy, no compromise, only rank, discipline, and the rule of the strong. At first light, before the sun crests the horizon, the alpha male awakens, scans the land, and signals the troop to move. Mothers cradle their infants, young cling tightly to their backs, and lower-ranking males march in silence at the rear. No word is spoken, yet every member follows the chain of command, a system built on battles fought and loyalties forged in blood. But that order is never permanent. On the fringes of the troop, younger males wait patiently, watching for any weakness. When the leader is injured or falters, a coup begins. Roars fill the air, fur bristles and claws tear at the ground. These battles can rage for minutes or even days until a victor stands triumphant, forcing the rest of the troop to submit. In the world of baboons, violence is a form of communication, but behind every clash lies intricate strategy and alliances. Lower-ranking males know they can't win alone, so they form coalitions, share food, and back each other in fights, biding their time for the perfect moment to overthrow the leader. Female baboons, on the other hand, are far more than breeding partners. Their status is inherited through the maternal line, giving high-ranking females priority in food, prime sleeping spots, and freedom in choosing mates. These relationships among females can last generations, playing a key role in troop stability. Once lost, however, status is rarely reclaimed. A dethroned male becomes an outcast, surviving on the edges of the savannah, cold, hungry, and attacked if he dares to return. Yet from these exiles, future kings often emerge because in baboon society, the only true law is the law of strength. But their challenges aren't limited to internal conflict. Baboons live between two worlds, the wild and the human, and survival often requires boldness. In the bush, their enemies are leopards, pythons, hyenas, and lions. Though smaller, baboons wield one powerful advantage: strength in numbers. When a leopard stalks a baby, the entire troop will charge, biting and striking with terrifying force. A single leopard may kill, but escaping a united troop is nearly impossible. Their eyes are always turned skyward as well, wary of hawks and eagles hunting playful young. Survival is a daily battle, and one alarm call can trigger chaos as females clutch their infants and males scramble to high ground, scanning for danger. Life in the wild depends on split-second reactions, and baboons have earned every lesson in blood. Humans, however, are a different kind of threat, armed with traps, firearms, and electric fences. Though clever, baboons pay a heavy price for conflict with humans. Sometimes an entire troop is wiped out for stealing a single bunch of bananas. These encounters are becoming increasingly frequent along the edge where the forest meets the city. Baboons, once purely creatures of the wild, have now become a symbol of adaptation in the human-dominated world, both intruders and defenders, hunted yet striving to survive as nature's space continues to shrink. In the untamed world of baboons, where each day is a struggle for existence, females are the silent guardians. They do not roar to mark their territory, nor do they battle for dominance, yet they are the heartbeat that keeps the troop alive. When a female delivers her first offspring, she embarks on an unrelenting journey where maternal instinct becomes both a weapon and a shield. Newborns arrive fragile and helpless, clinging tightly to their mother's chest in the early weeks, never leaving her side. Every trek for food, every flight from predators, every moment of exhaustion, she carries her baby no matter the cost. In baboon society, lineage is maternal, and a female's status reflects the strength of her bloodline. Those of higher rank enjoy safer sleeping grounds, priority access to food, and greater protection from males. Lower-ranking females, however, must constantly fight, not just to raise their infants, but to preserve their precarious place within this harsh hierarchy. Mothers are vigilant at all times. A baby straying from its mother's embrace faces immediate danger from predatory birds overhead, stalking leopards in the underbrush, or even aggressive males within the troop. During power shifts, males may kill infants to eliminate rival bloodlines. This is why mother baboons are fiercely protective, forming one of the strongest bonds in nature, a connection that outweighs food, shelter, or rank. Some grieving mothers carry their dead infants for days, unwilling to let go, as if mourning in silence amidst the unforgiving wilderness. Yet they are not without support. Females of the same lineage often band together, sharing food and helping protect one another's young. Even in this lawless world, maternal love remains a rare beacon of compassion. It is an instinct so deeply ingrained that nothing can extinguish it. In the frantic cries of a troop searching for a missing infant, in the terror in a mother's eyes as her baby is attacked, we see a truth that transcends species. Even in the wildest societies, a mother's love is nature's most powerful force. Baboons, perhaps more than any other primate, embody adaptability. They thrive in forests, grasslands, rocky highlands, near villages, and even within industrial zones that were once ancient habitats. Yet survival does not equal safety. Across Africa, baboon territories are being destroyed piece by piece. Forests are cleared for farming, housing, and roads, while highways carve through troop ranges, separating family groups. Forced into human settlements, baboons raid markets and villages, where they are chased, beaten, or killed. They are not invaders. They are survivors of a disappearing world. They simply have no choice. The growing conflict between humans and baboons is far more serious than a few stolen fruits. In many regions, baboons are labeled as pests, seen as a threat that must be eliminated. Traps, rifles, electric barriers, and other human methods have caused a steep drop in their numbers, even in places once considered safe havens. Yet danger isn't only external. Isolated groups lose their social order. Males struggle to find mates. Females face food shortages and cannot properly raise their young. Individuals cut off from their troops lose their instincts, grow disoriented, and even develop abnormal behaviors. A species once known for having one of the most sophisticated social systems among primates is now forced to survive alone. On top of this, climate change adds another layer of hardship. Extended droughts, dwindling water supplies, and rising temperatures have altered ecosystems drastically. Fruit trees that once provided reliable food no longer bear fruit regularly. Predators, driven closer to human settlements, push baboons into constant conflict against both wild animals and humans. Though some reserves still hold thriving populations, their habitats are shrinking rapidly, leaving them on the brink. Without action, their wild calls may one day exist only in our memories. Baboons are clever, resilient, and sometimes aggressive, but they are also nurturing, social creatures that deserve protection, not out of sympathy, but because they are vital to the natural balance of life. When nature is cornered, even its strongest creatures can fall, turning their story into a warning for all of us. As the sun sinks behind distant hills and the final calls of baboons echo through ancient forests, it's clear that no matter how the world changes, they will continue their fight for survival, as they have for millions of years. They may not be perfect. They can seem chaotic, destructive, or unruly to human eyes, but they are also guardians, caretakers, and creators of their own unique society, one that speaks in a language very different from ours. Baboons stand as living evidence that nature does not divide strength equally. It is a relentless test of adaptability. They are not as powerful as lions, as swift as leopards, or as commanding as eagles soaring above, yet they endure because they observe, learn, evolve, and never back down. In their fierce calls, in their sharp, thoughtful gaze as they sit alone upon a cliff, and in the way they cradle their young in moments of danger, we see a reflection of our own primal instincts. The lands that once echoed with their footsteps are slowly vanishing beneath expanding cities, but as long as a single forest, rocky ledge, or quiet riverbank remains, a troop of baboons will rise there, to live, to protect, to fight, and to carry forward their ancient story. True wilderness is not defined by dominance or conquest, but by resilience, by the refusal to bow to nature, mankind, or fear itself. And when we reflect upon this journey, we may realize that it was the baboons, more than any other creature, who taught us to live with intelligence, instinct, and an unshakable will to survive. The proboscis monkey, often called the jungle's lonely clown, roams the tangled swamp forests of Borneo, a creature whose unusual appearance surprises all who see it. With its long, pendulous nose, it looks comical at first glance, yet behind this strange face lies a resilient fighter, silently battling for survival in the unforgiving wild. For adult males, that enormous nose often hangs low, even covering the mouth, yet it is far more than decoration. It serves as a powerful tool, amplifying their calls to intimidate rivals, attract mates, and establish dominance, an evolutionary weapon that replaces claws or fangs. One commanding cry is enough to announce the troop's leader. With muscular bodies ranging from 55 to 75 centimeters and weighing up to 22 kilograms, proboscis monkeys are built for both land and water. Their strong limbs allow them to leap effortlessly through mangrove canopies, while webbed feet turn them into exceptional swimmers, a necessary skill in swampy terrain where predators lurk. Unlike most primates, they spend their lives shifting between treetops and waterways, diving into rivers to seek food or escape danger. Yet this connection to water makes them vulnerable to crocodiles, giant pythons, and other silent hunters. Picture a calm riverbank at dusk. A troop gathers at the shore, preparing to cross to richer feeding grounds. The young play nearby, unaware of danger, as the dominant male scans the surroundings. A faint ripple in the water freezes the group instincts. Scream that death hides beneath the surface. A massive crocodile, nearly 4 meters long, glides silently closer, its eyes fixed on an unsuspecting mother and her baby lagging behind. With her infant clutched tightly, she leaps into the water,